From the bowels of the dark interwebs came a discovery, videos allegedly showing members of a clandestine cabal. We suspect this mysterious group, which is shadowed in secrecy, is just as nefarious as the Trilateral Commission, the Bilderbergers, and the National Honor Society. Nefarious, devious, probably plotting the destruction of mankind. Why has nobody heard of this group investigators call the Genoa High School Hall of Fame? The brave men and women of the All-Class Alumni Festival Committee are risking their lives showing you these videos. If you have any information regarding these videos, like who made them and what their agenda is, please contact one of the members of the committee. Your future depends on it.
This video is sponsored by Woolmane Hair Care, your one-stop center for scalp transplants, hair plugs, toupees and trim-ups. Dr. Woolman is a highly respected surgeon who prides himself on leaving no scars that can be avoided. Dr. Woolmane says, quote, "Our toupees are made of real human hair from actual cadavers, freshly washed and colored. And, our hair plugs are lice-free, imported from Asia or somewhere like that. Stop by for a free consultation. You don't have to be bald, for God's sakes," unquote. But don't just take Dr. Woolmane's word for it. Here's what Joe Harryman has to say, a satisfied customer, quote, "Yes, I was always handsome, damn handsome, but I was going bald and I didn't want to be a loser like the rest of the bald guys. I took advantage of the free consultation with Dr. Woolmane and I liked what I heard. Dr. Woolmane worked his magic, and voila, I had a luxurious head of thick hair again. It grows so fast I have to have it trimmed up twice a week. Oh, and as far as my legal troubles are concerned, them loop people did not arrest me for trespassing near the dredge like they tell people. They arrested me because they are bald guys and they were jealous of my long, flowing hair," unquote. Stop by Woolmane's Hair Care today for your free consultation.
It was September 1997, when Genoa's Bob Burr was featured on the cover of a national magazine after snagging a space alien skull, while fishing in the Beaver Creek. Bob's sister, Barb Burr, was a witness, and she said, quote, "It was a hairy ordeal. The Beaver Creek has long been considered a hot spot for the paranormal. You can add Bob Burr snagging a space alien skull while fishing to the list of the unexplained." Bob's story was featured on the cover of the national outdoor magazine, Field and Scream. Afterward, he was a highly sought-out guest for talk shows, like The Art Bell Show. Art told Bob on the air, quote, "I thought you were just a lunatic, making all this up, now I'm not so sure," unquote. Bob Burr, the 1992 graduate of Genoa High School, remains modest despite all the fame. He said, quote, "It was just luck really. I was whistling a tune, enjoying the day and reeling in my line when I thought I hit a snag. Well, it weren't no snag. It was a space alien skull," unquote. In October of 1997, Bob was nominated for induction into the Genoa High School Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Bob Burr.
He made history, but it was not made known until after his death in 1906. Gustavus Schnoz was the first ghost hunter in the history of Nebraska, and he was a graduate of Genoa High School in 1815. He was inducted into the Ghs Hall of Fame in 1949. Schnoz said it was during the last conversation he had with his wife. He told her he could see her deceased mother sitting on the sofa.
Schnoz said, quote, "I don't know if it was when I told her. I seen her mother sitting there looking as horrible and grumpy as ever, or when I said she was still bossy, that made my wife pack up and leave that afternoon. I guess it really doesn't matter. It was the best day of my life, especially since the mother-in-law went with her,"
unquote. That was the day Schnoz said he decided to become a ghost hunter. His goal originally was to help other husbands get rid of the ghosts of their mother-in-laws too, but he discovered that a lot of people were suffering from hauntings.
Schnoz said, quote, "For a modest fee, I would chase the ghosts away. And if I couldn't get rid of them, for another modest fee, I would burn the house down for them. Congratulations, Gustavus Schnoz."
For 7 summers, Lois Branch, or Lo as she was referred to by friends, was a popular attraction in Genoa. She had a wren nest in her hair, and each summer, the same pair of wrens returned to nest in her hair. She was even on the cover of a very popular tabloid called American Bird magazine. That was the magazine that broke the story of the pterodactyl seen flying near the Beaver Creek. Anyway, Low Branch told American Bird magazine, quote, "The wrens loved me and I loved them. We were family, darn it, and I wore that nest like a crown. And yes, people loved seeing the birds and the hatchlings in my head nest as I would walk up and down Main Street." Unquote. It was in July of that 7th summer when tragedy struck. Low Branch said, quote, "Mama Wren was flying across the street back to the nest when she hit the windshield of idiot Lenny Backley's truck as he drove down the street, ending her life. Oh yes, it's true that I beat idiot Backley right then and there in the street with my push broom. I did my time in the county jail. I have no regrets. Well, I do wish I could have hit idiot Backley some more before they pulled me away." Unquote. Low Branch was a 1929 graduate of Genoa High School, and was inducted into the Ghs Hall of Fame in August, 1956.
This week on Insomniac Theater, Earl Holliman and Frances Bavier star in Tarzan and Jane, The Senior Citizen Years. A city slicker businessman played by Tony Danza wants to build a gambling casino in the middle of the jungle, which will disturb the wildlife. It's up to Tarzan and Jane to stop this nefarious plot. This exciting adventure has it all: dramatic close-ups, romance, and senior citizens swinging through the trees. You don't want to miss Earl Holliman and Frances Bavier at their best in Tarzan and Jane, The Senior Citizen Years. Insomniac Theater is sponsored by our friends at Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom, starring Marlon Perkins, the Uncut Editor's Edition. In this week's episode, Marlon tells his sidekick Jim to go get a closer look at the baby elephant that wandered away from the herd. As Jim is running for his life with 2 adult elephants chasing him, Marlon says, quote, "As you can see, Jim is running for his life. Those elephants are very protective of their young. Glad you survived, Jim," unquote. Jim yells from backstage, quote, "You tried to get me killed, Perkins. One of these days I'm going to beat the crap out of you," unquote. Don't miss Insomniac Theater, followed by Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom, the Uncut Editor's Edition, starting at 10 p.m. on the Lifetime channel.
When it comes to Nance County rivalries, one town's hero is another town's criminal. His name was Ralph Spritzer, a farmer and ace crop dusting pilot from Genoa, and townspeople gave him a ticker tape parade when he was finally released from jail. But Fullerton people wanted him to serve life in the Nance County Jail without parole for what they called, quote, "one of the most heinous acts of crime in history," unquote. So what happened? It was north or northwest. Stories differ on where it happened by Fullerton, but Spritzer has never denied he was the one who chased the Fullerton High football coach with his crop duster, down roads and across fields. Spritzer said he was sick of Genoa getting cheated every time they played sports in Fullerton. "Cheating slime is what they are," Spritzer told a packed courtroom, to cheers from Genoa people and boos from Fullerton people. Spritzer added, quote, "Anytime Genoa loses to Fullerton, it's because Fullerton cheated, and that is a fact that cannot be denied. Somebody needs to teach them Fullerton people a lesson, the scoundrels." Unquote. Spritzer was sentenced to 60 days in the Nance County Jail for reckless driving in a crop duster. He was voted into the Genoa High School Hall of Fame in January, 1944. Congratulations, Ralph Spritzer, true American hero. The June 1952 headline in the Genoa Leader-Times read, "Sally Seven Fingers Franklin officially retires, inducted into the Ghs Hall of Fame." If there was any kind of community event, bake sale, weddings, fundraisers, almost anything, you would find Sally Seven Fingers standing somewhere with her hand in the air letting people stare at it. Her mother, Louise, said the family was proud of her and quote, "It made her feel special to be the center of attention." But when Sally Seven Fingers hit the age of 30, she didn't want to display her hand anymore, and said she knew people were snickering behind her back, unquote. Sally Seven Fingers was hired by the Genoa National Bank and discovered she could count money at blazing speed with those extra fingers. Bank employees say people would gather in the lobby at the bank and take turns having her make change for a $20 bill just to watch her wizardry with dollar bills. One teller, who spoke on the condition we not use her name, says, quote, "It made the rest of us feel unimportant when everyone wanted her to wait on them because she could do tricks with the bills. We all felt like quitting," unquote. Sally Seven Fingers was shocked, learning that her coworkers felt this way and said, quote, "I can't help it if I have two thumbs. I didn't ask crowds to gather so people could watch me make change for 20s. I am sorry they felt that way, but they can suck it," unquote. Sally Seven Fingers was inducted into the Ghs Hall of Fame in June of 1952. Congratulations, Sally Seven Fingers.
Phil Flambeau says returning to Genoa, his hometown, as a Hollywood star is very rewarding. He says his classmates voted him most likely to get bitten by a dog during his senior year of high school, and it was in the annual for all to see. "They had no respect for me," Flambeau says. He said, quote, "I guess it is ironic that one of my first major roles as a corpse actor was playing a man in a park who was mauled by a werewolf," unquote. Flambeau said he is considered one of the all-time great corpse actors in the history of television. He was nominated and won a Stiffy Award after he played a body in an alley on the show Hunter back in 1984. Flambeau said Fred Dreyer told the director, quote, "That darn Flambeau is very believable as a dead guy laying in an alley," unquote. Flambeau said it was his exceptional flexibility that set him apart when laying on the ground, and that made him a hot commodity as a corpse actor. He told the Leader Times, quote, "I was the corpse actor of choice on the show Columbo. Intense scenes. Me and Peter Falk became good friends. Pete told TV Guide that there was no corpse actor he would rather work with than me. They cut that part out of the article, The Losers, but Pete said it," unquote. Flambeau was inducted into the Ghs Hall of Fame in 1994. Well deserved, Phil Flambeau.
This is the end of Volume 2 of the Ghs Hall of Fame. We hope you enjoyed this presentation, but we really don't care. Nobody is asking your opinion. Get over yourself.